Okay, here, I'm gonna tell you something. This is for the feeling like an imposter or feeling like you are an oddball or why are they gonna like me? You know, when someone walks in the gym, I always tell my clients especially the big commercial gyms, you walk in it and you say,
Uh, yo, what's good with it? Podcast. It is me, your host, Mac Blake Tamarin, whatever one you call me. I got like 12 names. And then today we're here with a very special guest. Her name is Miss Tara Scott. She's an entrepreneur. I would call her a fitness guru. She's been all around the block. She knows a lot. And that's what we're here for. We want to learn, get new perspectives and everything. So, Mrs. Tara, to start
yes.
things off, can you tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do?
My name is Tara Scott. I am a gym owner, fitness instructor, um, motivator, and entrepreneur.
Okay. So was there a specific moment where you realized that I guess you didn't want a traditional path since you are an entrepreneur? Or did it just kind of fall into that?
It's funny because I always thought, I don't know, I thought that I was good working for anybody. I
Mhm.
never really minded. My thing was whatever I'm working for, I'm going to do it the best, right? So like if I am, and I was pretty much always in sales and marketing, and so I always want to make President's Club. And it might be a bit of competitiveness, probably is where it really stems from. But then I decided, after a divorce of 20 years, that I was going to, because I always trained on the side, always had clients before and after work. I had a boot camp I ran, but I got a job at 24-Hour Fitness, and it was one of the multiple clubs I worked for, at $9 an hour. And they wanted you to sell packages to clients.
Mhm.
And it's not about that for me. It's never been about the money. So then I was like, I got to do this for myself. And it just evolved into it. I don't even, I have to say, I feel like I know that I dreamed of it and I thought of it a lot. And I feel like I just got blessed.
Hmm. So I guess I'm curious, was there like a drive behind it? I know sales is one of those things where you gotta have like grit. So you gotta really dig in sometimes
Yeah.
and be
Yes.
like gore. So is there
Yes.
a grit to kind of being an entrepreneur?
I think the number one thing is you have to have your why. Like anything you're doing really, but you have to think of why you want that, whether it's for someone else, you have to take care of your parents someday, or you have children, grandchildren, whatever it is. And I think that knowing that they're looking to you, and so you got to be your best. And it's like every day, I don't know what I'm going to do the next day, but living in the moment is something I was always challenged with.
Mhm.
But that's if you really focus on living in today, not tomorrow or yesterday, you be better every day, that day. Um, Knock out your list, be smart with your money. I've always, save 20% of my income, put the other, whatever you cut out the bills. And I think that's really what you're going to get there. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
and you can't get too anxious, like, oh, I need it to happen right now. You know, I think you got to have some faith and just know it's going to happen. Just keep working toward that.
So
So
how did you like learn to live in the present? That's something I think I really struggle with. Like,
yes,
especially with this,
yes,
I kind of ask myself, will it be worth it in the long run, or is it something that I'm like wasting my time with almost?
yes,
So how do
yes.
you kind of stay the course whenever you had those type of thoughts?
Do you enjoy it? Like
Yeah.
what you're doing, you enjoy it? That's
Uh-huh.
all that matters. I know that we've heard all that silly stuff like you never work a day in your life or whatever if you enjoy what you're doing. You don't have to enjoy it, but at the end of the day, do you feel satisfied? You know? And so if that's the case, you just keep plugging away at that. Tell me your question again. I'll just keep talking. I have so many thoughts running through my head. I'm super ADD, so
That's fine.
doing
That's
my
fine. That's
best.
good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
No, but you said so, like for you, what you're doing, and sometimes you go, "Am I doing the right
Yeah,
thing?"
like I really struggle with being present in it and kind of like
Yeah.
accepting that it has to grow, but
Hmm.
it's hard to accept that something has to grow or will grow over time whenever growth
Yes.
happens super slowly, especially when it comes
Yes.
to something like an empire almost. Like you want to build an empire.
Yeah.
So it's like,
You know what you want to do is you want to build relationships.
mhm,
You already are like that. So if you focus on building the relationships, the business just will just pile on top of it. Because like I told you this morning, I train clients that own their own businesses because they have flexibility. They can come, any time of the day, and they have the finances to pay for personal training. And so I have a ton of entrepreneurs that I train. So it's like I think you're awesome. So it's just like build those relationships with that person, and they're gonna give you all their like-minded people. So your business could explode
okay.
for
So it's just
real.
about getting those kind of, what word
Yeah.
am I looking for? I want to say interlinked for some reason. I don't know why I want to say that. That's TikTok language.
Well, because you usually start out with your friends and family,
Yes,
but that is like a tiny little block, and then it's just getting someone's going to know someone where you get started, and then that's going to be basically referring everyone they know.
okay.
Hmm.
So you said you got into personal training young. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're sitting in the gym. This is your
Yeah.
gym.
Yeah.
So, what was the journey like from becoming a personal trainer
Mhm.
to here? How'd that come up?
Yeah, man, it's pretty heartfelt and deep, but I struggled with my weight when I was a kid. And, my dad he was just honoring. He'd be like, "You putting on weight?" And that was hard. That's hard. But that's like that generation.
Yeah.
Um, I grew up, in '70s and '80s, and it wasn't, they weren't worried about your feelings. So then what really did it is my little brother and I, you know, we were really close, and he's 3 years younger than me. And he had a actual weight problem. At one point, and I know he would joke with you, he was as round as he was tall in like the first grade. And so boy, I'll tell you what, I don't like people getting made fun of.
Hmm.
It's a big hot button for me. So he got teased a lot and called names, and so I was kind of did it for him in the beginning, and then he and I, boy, in our teens, we went on a mission. We trained every night, and so I fell in love with it. Um, in high school, they didn't bring us girls into the weight room very often, and so with softball, we got to go in the weight room, and I learned that I could press more than some guys, and that was exciting.
Okay.
Yeah. So then the heavier I lifted, the smaller I got, and all of a sudden I was like, I'm not a victim to my weight anymore. And so it was like you realize you are in control of where your business goes, where your body goes. And so that was where it evolved. And then I was in the gym while I was in college, and some guy approached me. He said his partner had fallen out. He was competing, and he needed a mixed double partner. So he asked me would I be interested. I was nowhere near ready, but he knew the science behind it, and he was like a multiple state champion. Anyhow, so I said yes because I was like, well, why not? It'll stretch me.
The opportunity.
And from that, I fell in love with it because, like I said a little bit ago, but it's extreme how whatever you want, you know, you can have it. And so then the training years with the gym, I don't know, somehow I just start getting equipment. And next thing I know, training all my friends. And then it literally evolved into
Huh.
it.
So during that time where I guess you were building, you were always an entrepreneur. We were just talking about like feeling like that belongingness of it, I guess. Did you
uh,
have imposter syndrome at all? Like feel like, why am
yeah.
I the person that can do this? Why am I the person that can do this? Or did you always
You
kind of
know,
know?
I really think that it's good to have somebody that you aspire to be like, you know. And so finding, I'm not going to say idols per se because that wouldn't be healthy, but meaning like have somebody that does what you do that you like and you look up to them, and why not copy it in a way? I'm not saying copy somebody else's material. I'm saying like, you know learn their habits. You can pretty much, most people have a biography or something out there. They're social,
Mhm.
and learn what they do. They're probably not sleeping in. You know, they probably do exercise, and those are some traits that successful people do. And I don't think you're going to feel like an imposter because it comes from within. Like your dream comes from within. You just can't. You can't think like okay, here, let me tell you something. This is for the feeling like an imposter or feeling like you are an oddball or why are they going to like me? You know, when someone walks in the gym, I always tell my clients especially the big commercial gyms, you walk in it and you say, this is my home, right? And then because those other people are feeling that way too. Like they're literally like looking at themselves in the mirror. They, if they have a big ego, they're usually hiding some insecurities. So it's like everybody feels that way. So if you just say, hi to somebody and you are the one that's, friendly and confident, just tell yourself you are. You're confident. I feel good.
Okay, so it's like a self belief thing,
Yes, what you tell yourself
and
is
then
big. It's so big. I mean, it's not just, I'm not talking about like the secret type stuff,
mhm.
like it's biblical. I mean, in Proverbs, what the man says off of his tongue, is what comes to fruition. I'll actually find that so I can say it exactly right. But yeah, I make sure, like when you're getting ready to do a podcast and whatever business someone's doing, you're getting ready to go on, you want to pump yourself up. Like, yeah, you feel good. You're the best. This is so good. You're going to have the best day. I really can tell you your mind, your subconscious will believe anything or your conscience will believe anything your subconscious says. And it's proven. There's tons of studies and I love looking at those. And so if you start thinking like, I am not someone that, why would they want to listen to me? That's a trail you're going to go down. So you just got to basically tell yourself how great you are over and over and over.
Okay. So just say F it,
Yeah.
get in there, and then keep that self confidence within yourself.
Yeah. Go in front of the mirror. Like I would go in front of the mirror and go, I love you, Tara Lee Scott. Because we're mean to ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
We really are.
That was one of the things when I first started losing weight. This year I lost 50 pounds. Well, me and Kenzie we just talked
Dang.
about this,
Congratulations.
and it was like when I first started, I was just mean to myself. Like
Yeah.
I would really go in on myself, and then I had to kind of slow down and take my time and tell myself like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay if you mess up this day, or if it was a day I was just not feeling confident in myself at all. I'm like, just
Mm-hmm.
lie, just
Yep.
lie. You go in the mirror and
Yep.
lie. Your brain can't tell the difference. I think I saw a TikTok about this too. It was like a study or something like that. When you lie to yourself, your brain cannot tell the difference. So if you go in the mirror every day
Yeah.
and say you're ugly, you're
Yes.
going to think you're ugly.
Yes. Yes.
So
You'll start. And have you noticed that when somebody's feeling that way,
mhm.
they don't look as vibrant and attractive?
It's
I mean,
definitely
how
true.
many people do you know that aren't attractive? And the more you get to know them, you're like, we're cute. Like what? Confidence says a lot. It does a lot. You can be or do anything you want, and it's just something that we put our own limits on ourselves. We're in our own way, basically.
So do you think confidence led to a lot of your like success too?
Yes, for sure, sure. And making myself believe it. You got
Okay.
this. You got this. I remember when I was in sixth grade, I ran remember, chubby kid. I wanted to be in track. So I was in track and I did the long distance run.
Mhm.
And my coach was this older man. I mean, he was probably like in his 60s at that time. He would run alongside me and he said, and I don't even know if this is true, he said, put your fingers like this and say over and over in your head, I got this. Because he said, this is your weakest finger. So you won't exert any energy into this finger. And I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And that entire thing, I thought I was going to die. I said that over and over in my head, and I crossed that finish line not last, not even in the middle. I was up front.
I'm still in that. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I remember you telling me you said that you were on Biggest Loser as one of the
Yes,
trainers.
yes, yes.
How did that
That was
opportunity present itself?
that was insane. That was so cool. Biggest Loser was coming here to Dallas. And I mean, I was an avid, like I watched it. I enjoyed watching it because my favorite thing is watching people change, and seeing them find out they can change. And so then I didn't even apply for it or anything like that. My manager came to me and she said, "You've been nominated." I was like, "Dang!" And so the top 5 people in the company were able to go. And so me and 4 other trainers. And the best part was they let me take my two clients I had to choose. So I had Olin, who was a man in his 60s that had, I mean, this man went from overweight, belly was like a beach ball. And if he hears this, he would not be offended. He would agree. Um, Anyhow, and so I started training him at 62, I believe. And now he's shaved his head. He's all tanned and runs Spartan races.
That's
So I
in the
took Olin with
60s?
me, and then Vanessa. She was a Waffle House cook. She was very overweight, and I trained her for about a year and a half. And people used to come over and say, "Hey, you're going to hurt her." I had that happen more than twice while I was training her in the gym because she would go to the center of the floor and throw up. And I was like, you
That's
know what
part
I
of
mean.
the
Don't
that's
worry
part
about
of it.
it. But and so and Vanessa, same thing. I ran a mud run with her, and sometimes I'll meet her over and run some trails. But she has biceps and abs. For real, she does. I'm not even joking. I've got the pictures to show you. Really cool. Anyway, sorry, I got off track.
You good.
But so, Biggest Loser, it was so cool. We all lined up, in Dallas. It was a cold morning. It was in February of 2010. Anyway, and so then once we got in there, we were with all the contestants and we went into groups, whichever rooms you were in. And then, in the middle of it, next thing I know, I didn't know this part, we were getting trained by Bob Harper, and we were having to do push-ups on a step. You know how wide a step is, this it's like step class type thing.
Yeah.
You had to have your hands all the way to the outside of the step, and he's in your face yelling, "You can do it," like that. And I remember thinking, dang, but it inspired me as a trainer too. It was so cool to see, everybody live and in action and on camera and everything. So it aired in April that year. It was definitely a lifetime experience.
Okay.
Yeah, once in a
So
lifetime.
one thing I want to ask to follow that up, do you think that being a woman and entrepreneur kind of there was a struggle there?
Yes, actually. I will say that you can overcome it. Whenever I was long time ago, it happened to me. I was working for a family in their restaurant breakfast, and we had all of us female waitresses. And this is funny because it's like even as a waiter waitress, but then the 2 guys, they were Ronnie and Gabe, and they were both very fast. They could carry a lot of breakfast plates, and they would always get the sections that made the most money. I was like, dang, and I was hustling, trying to like get there. I just couldn't do it. I wasn't as strong as them.
Mhm.
Let's spit the truth. That's the truth. So anyhow, I was like, I'm not letting this happen again. And I fought it. I worked there for like 3 years, I think, and the whole time I couldn't get there. So then after that, I went to work for Expedia in sales, and we had President's Club, top 5 performers. I covered 3 states at that time, and I had Northern California, and Idaho, and I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, that's weird. I forgot. But anyhow, I made President's Club because of that experience at waitressing. I was like, I'm not falling behind.
Oh, it taught you that.
Yeah, I was like, you got to come in on fire. You have to come in, not, don't be intimidated. You know what I'm saying? Like, think of it like everyone else was intimidated when they started. The person that you admire was intimidated when they started. So when you go in, you got the same thing. I own this. This is mine. This is my home. And so I went off the gate running, and I made President's Club my first year. Nobody could believe it. They didn't even want to hire me because they didn't think I had enough experience. So yeah.
I
Yeah,
like that.
took us to Hawaii. It was cool.
You got
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, it's
I don't
all
even
in
know
your
what to call it.
mind. Yeah.
So that experience you had when you were a kid, or not when you were a kid, when you were in your teens, you
Mm.
said with your brother, and that
Yeah.
y'all were just working out, and then it
Yeah.
clicked. Has it clicked since then? Like it was just like a once it hit, then it kind of for the rest of your
Yes.
life.
Yes. Because now, and I do believe that God gives you gifts, and a gift, and I took for granted that I liked to make people feel better about themselves, because that
Mhm.
started as a kid, where my little friends that didn't, brush their hair, have makeup when I got makeup, I wanted to make them feel pretty and put them in cuter clothes or whatever. So I knew I liked to make people feel good. And then, whenever I was training with my brother, I was doing it for him, and the next thing I know, his changes. I mean, he went from being like embarrassed to go anywhere, really had a hard time even in social friend groups, and I'm sure it was something he was giving off, right?
Yeah.
He was actually really funny, but that was, he was not confident. You should see him now. He is a flight attendant for Delta first class, flies all over the world, and he is like, he's got his own little thing he does with the, put on your seatbelt stuff. It's I just watched him blossom and change. And then doing that, I knew how much better I felt. And then it's like, that's all. I feel like now when someone walks in, first time I see them, if I know they want it, I already know their goal. I already picture them a goal. And it's just fast track.
So was there a time that you questioned if personal training was for you? Like during
Yeah.
the time, even after you kind of had that epiphany?
Yeah, yeah. I had a little heartbreak about it, because I thought, I'm not going to be able to afford this. You know what I mean? It didn't
Mhm.
pay a lot. It didn't pay a lot until it did. So, investing in yourself, but yeah, those years that like I told you, I went through a divorce after 20 years, and I was personal training because I was kind of heartbroken and in a weird time of life. And then I never want to depend on anyone else, you know, um, because it's not fair to them. So, and it's not good for you either, right? So I thought for a while, when I quit 24-hour fitness, because like I said, it was $9 an hour and you had to sell packages. And I hated thinking of someone has to buy a package so that I can pay my bills, because I want them just to get to goal, because I know I can get them to goal.
Mhm.
And so then I had to go get a real job and started working in radio. And I was tired. I would train people, but I started thinking, like, I'm not going to get that back, right? And so it's just awesome how, if you just in your head want something bad enough, you're going to get it.
How'd you get back into it?
After so I trained while I worked at DJRD, which was a AM radio station where we did talk. And then I started working for CBS radio, and I was training someone before work and after work and on my lunch. So I had 3 clients a day, and all coworkers. And then start putting that money away. So then whenever I met my husband, he has the same drive. He's an automotive. He owns an automotive shop
Mhm.
here, and it's a big one, and has the best reviews out of anyone out of the 30 shops.
I want to
And
interview him too.
he had the same drive. He was fixing his friends' um, lawnmowers, bicycles, all that stuff. And then he grew all the way up to having his own shop and doing like amazing. So when we met, he kind of saw mine as, you've already put away all this money. What are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? And he gave me one of these pep talks.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I'm doing it. So I just started buying equipment, putting in the garage, buying equipment, started training people on a concrete floor. And some of those clients I have today. And that was, 12 years ago. So anyhow, um, there's always a way. I'm telling you, if you have to get a loan, that would be my least favorite. But if you can put some money aside and then start accumulating whatever it'll take, like equipment for your podcast or whatever it is, just keep your eye on it and keep working toward it. Hmm. Before you know it, and I'm not kidding you, before you know it, you're going to be sitting in it and you're going to go, what the heck just happened?
I was just about to ask you that. Did you ever
Hmm.
expect to get here?
No, I feel like every day I feel blessed. Every day. Like if I walk out this door and think, man, I walk to my work and I freaking love it. And everybody loves me because I'm making them look beautiful. It's just really fun. So fun. And I mean, trust me, they fight me. If some of my clients were here right now and they tell you, she lies. She said I was only to do 15 and I did 30, whatever.
That's how
But
I'd be.
we
That's how
we
I would be.
fight. Oh, we fight. I'm telling you, they have this little thing where I'm gonna stand up and show you. They go like this. Go on, get it. They kick with their with foot out. Go on, get it. It's like a joke.
Like all
So
your
now
clients,
everyone
like they
does
just
it.
all do it.
Yeah. So like if you were over here pulling that rope down, and I would be like going, and I'd be like, you need to, and you like, go on, get it.
What's the path to getting into personal training look like?
Oh, honestly, it's super easy to get certified. There's like multiple companies. I mean, you're looking at like $1,000 to get certified, anywhere from ACE to NASM. The certs are just studying. I mean, I think when I first studied, I'd already been training for a long time when I got my certifications, because you just go in the gym and people go, "How do you
Yeah,
do that?" Or like, "Well, you look." Well, how do I do that? Then it's getting certified. It's like $1,000, and then there's so many people that need like an assistant or somebody. Like I have a couple of my girls getting their certs now. That I have one of my clients just she competed in her first show. I coached her through September in Vegas. She competed and she called me up after. She said, "You know what? I want to be a coach." She's a travel nurse and she was a trauma nurse. She's one of those. She worked the helipad at
and she
Parkland,
live. I mean, and she like
and she
works out.
wants to live. She wants to, yeah, she wants to be a trainer now. So she has her nursing job. She's studying for her certs, and she has all of her show pictures, where she was on stage in
Uh-huh.
Vegas. And man, not people like that. They know you walk you talk walk it. So she is now under my Tarafied Fitness as one of my trainers. So my plan is the more people I can inspire to do it, oh, man, so
That's
happy.
impressive too with the
Yeah.
nursing, because I know when it comes to nurse,
Yeah.
they are slammed a lot of the times, especially trauma nurses.
Yes. 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 And you know what? It's like, I think when somebody goes through a transition like that, like you with your
Mhm.
weight loss, um, you want to help someone else do it because you're like, man, I started living differently once I lost some weight.
I don't even know how to. I really struggled to like explain it. It was like one
Yeah.
day it just kind of clicked. Just do it. Just show up
See, it
every day.
right here's when it happened, right? I
Mhm.
always say it's a decision. It is a decision. You do have to have a why, or why could be I'm sick. I'm sick of this. I don't know about you as a guy, but for girls, man, there's nothing like having 4 or 5 different sizes in your closet. It's like, and you have to put it on to see if it works.
We did.
Because yeah, my favorite saying is when you can rock a t-shirt and you're rocking your t-shirt, then you're on it. You're
Did
on
you
it.
ever always wear a hoodie whenever you were
Oh shoot, yeah.
That's a go-to. The hoodie, or like if I'm having a conversation, like oh my gosh,
Yeah.
5 years ago, or if I was still in high school, I would not be able to wear this shirt and have this conversation and be confident. I would have had like a pillow and been holding it, trying to cover it,
Anything
a
you can hold to
hoodie.
cover it. I know, right? I know. And that you think of what that does to your soul, like
Hmm.
who you are at the core. Like we were saying, that's kind of mean to yourself because you're telling yourself I gotta hide. But, you know, yeah, it all goes together. hmm There's all different, like being a certain type of an eater. If you're, I'm a closet eater. If I'm behind the door, it didn't happen. Nobody saw it happen. I didn't eat that.
Man,
But some people get to happy eaters, social eaters, depressed eaters, whatever it is.
I don't think I've ever paid attention to what kind of eater I was.
Now you're gonna be thinking about it.
So what's the like? What do they mean?
Like, okay, so do you tend to eat, more whenever you're being social? Or do you think, "Ah, I really want that pack of donuts or whatever, like me, and you're gonna go?" in the pantry and eat it.
I might go in the pantry. Well, I'll have one in front of everybody, but like
Yeah, yeah,
if nobody's looking, I'm probably throwing back 3 or 4.
yeah. Right. Yeah.
I want to ask you another question.
Yeah.
So, what part of building the business built you up personally the most?
Personally, yeah, I would say when you first apply for that LLC and you get it, that's like it's like another college degree, or it is like a college degree, or it's so official,
Hmm.
because when you're working for someone else your whole life, you just, I don't know, it's not something that you can feel accomplished with whatever goals the company gave you. But when you get your own and your own LLC, when you're picking your name, whenever you all of a sudden that I can do it turns into I did it.
Hmm.
Yep. So personally, I think I grew up in my household, and I hope my sisters aren't listening, but in my household, one of my sisters ended up on drugs. Actually, no, they both did. They both did. And my oldest sister, they were my stepdad's kids, but they still came and stayed with us every other weekend. But the oldest one, her son just died of an overdose, and he was 30. And that's because he saw mom and dad doing it. So I'm not just picking on that part. It's whatever is eating at you that's making you not be your best you. That's what you got to determine and figure that vice out and dump it. Because your life is so much better when you feel good in your clothes. Whenever you're signing your own checks, you have choices. So and then I mean, my little brother, he's amazing. So, but it doesn't matter where you came from. Whenever you start to accomplish something that's for you, you will personally just you'll blow up. You feel so good, you
And
know.
starting an LLC in Texas is generally easy, right? It's like $300, and then you just go
Yeah.
through the paperwork and kind of.
Yes. It's kind of scary because they tell you, oh, you're going to need an attorney to sign this or that. But, one of my other things that I will tell you is that whatever you're doing early on, invest some of your money in an assistant, because all the little crap that you're going to, keep doing your passion for, those things are going to hit the back burner. And so, yeah, whether it's an hour a week, 2 hours a week, it'll grow into full time, whatever. Somebody to do the back stuff. So I did not do the LLC part. That sweet little girl that did it.
How much should I pay them? Just
Yes.
if I'm
So
curious, what would you say?
I love incentive.
Hmm.
So you would give them. I mean, when I started, I was like, I don't want to do this by myself. I train groups, and on the weekends, oh my God, everybody wants to train on Saturday morning. And so I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to calculate how much I make that day. I'm giving her half, and
Okay.
that was the way I got it. I didn't give her half all the time, but like as soon as I see that I'm growing, whatever it is, then guess who has a gift and a card on their desk. And as far as the pay, you definitely have to go with just whoever you want. What do they need to make? And then where your bar is set, because you need to make X amount. So you need to pay this person, you know, $20 an hour or whatever it is, and you're gonna have to make it. And it's so
I can
easy. You
afford
just
that.
gotta do it.
I can afford that. I can do that.
Yeah.
And then, so my last question is, or it might not even be my last. It depends on what the answer is, I guess. I'm gonna read this one verbatim. For someone listening who feels unqualified or intimidated to start, what do you think they misunderstand about this path? And I just mean that in the terms of entrepreneurship.
Oh yeah. So like they're hesitant to get started because you know, because we all give excuses of something that we're afraid of doing.
Hmm.
Maybe you're afraid of failing, and so you don't realize it's like a deeply rooted fear. But you know, the the um, the thing is, it's back into. Sorry, I keep beating this up, but it's so true. what you're telling yourself, it's in the power of the tongue. So if you look at your certain circumstances, we will find an excuse every day to not do something. I mean, it's like I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow morning, whatever it is, those kind of things. Because I mean, I've had to overcome procrastination big time, and it if you want it, there's no better time than the present. Start with I like take notes or record yourself, whatever it is that you want. Keep a journal of some sort because that journal, when you sit down to write in it the next day, you see what you said yesterday. So if you're having a bad day today, because you let things get to you or whatever, then you're going to see what you said yesterday and you're going to go back and do it. Always keep, why. Put your list of what you're thankful for, and it can be as small as your shoes, your both of your legs, whatever it is, whatever you're thankful for, and that positive mindset with that goal in front of you. As far as having your own business, again, find somebody who's successful at it. Figure out what they do. Watch their social, and there's nothing you can't have. I know. There's just really not. I've seen it, with training. I almost feel like it's like being a therapist in a big way. I mean, we unpeel an onion. So I have people who've been, stuck or intimidated, and they want more. And it's like I get to know who they are because we have blood sometimes, not often. Maybe a finger, once a lip, anyway, a toe. Anyway, get me dropping the weights. Blood, sweat, and tears. So, whoa, I've had people fall out crying. It's crazy because when you start challenging yourself, it's just something and that's why I think entrepreneurs should exercise. You challenge yourself in a way that's something you don't think you can do. The endorphins you get from doing just that one thing, that's what's going to keep you going because the thing in motion is what happens, not the thing that's sitting there thinking about it. So what's the first thing I need to do? What is that? Is that to go apply for the LLC? ChatGPT is freaking amazing. Just ask it, where do I go
I'll be
with
using that,
this?
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I do, I think it's probably clear with everything I said. I'm a very faithful person. I know that God is the reason I'm where I'm at. And I thank him every single day, at least 100 times. And I know that if you are, if I forgot what I was going to say again, this is normal. 54. So tell me what we just said. The
Um, Dang, I was so focused on listening. Hold on.
Yeah, no, I can get it back. I can get it back. Hmm.
Um,
Well, what do they need to do to get started?
mhm.
And ChatGPT. Ooh,
And
that's
then
where
we
we
were talking
were.
about faith in it
Yes,
too.
and then to faith. So ChatGPT is probably of the enemy. I'm not even gonna. Here's the thing: if you don't do ChatGPT, you're gonna fall behind. You will fall behind. My daughter needed a business plan for what she wants to do. Oh my God, it gave her the most amazing business plan. And, seconds. I'll use it too. I'll say, this is what I'm doing. Do you agree? And it'll say like, no, you've got too many, you have too many hinges in that workout. Who thinks of that, right? So it's definitely worth it. So you can chat GPT what your next step is and just knock it out. I have a little system where I use a digital planner now, but doesn't matter, paper, whatever. I put down what I want. I put a little box next to it, and as soon as I have done it, I put a cross through it. And as soon as it's complete, I put another one through it. So it gets done because I like checking off boxes, and that's pretty simple.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
what about someone who's just super lazy? Because I know me.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't check boxes. I'm a mental checklist type of person. So like I'll wake up in the morning, I'll be like, all right. Well, I have a calendar too, so I guess it kind of helps me. But I
Yeah,
have a calendar that kind of has like a rough draft of what the day is supposed to look like.
yeah,
And then from there I have a mental checklist, and then I just go ahead and knock everything out. But that comes
yeah.
back to the when I started losing weight thing, the aspect of just going to do
Oh,
it.
so
So it's just
true.
like
It's so true. It really has a lot to do with like what you succeed in or what you do. I'm always impressed when I see somebody who's like really overweight and very, very successful, because most of the time I see in training, I see people just as soon as they get that change, and I've had people start with me that their goal is to, and I'm not joking, tie their shoes. I just want to be able to tie my own shoes. And but you see where, and that person's beyond tying her shoes. She's not up and off the floor and all that, but that wouldn't even have been a thought back then. But as soon as that stuff starts happening, let alone the endorphins you get from it, you see them completely like, she ended up getting a different job. Instead of being a math teacher, she's the head of the math department. It's like, it gives you confidence. So I would say when we said get the LLC or whatever it is on your chat GPT, start walking, I'll tell you what's actually really good is sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up. I have a lady in her 80s, and I train her, and all we do is we sit in the chair, we stand up, we sit back down, we stand up.
Getting
Reps.
something.
Yeah, then we go behind the chair and hold on to it, swing the legs, do the toe turn, that little blood flow. I was going to joke with you when we started this podcast,
Oh, what about?
because I was going to ask you, can we start and do some push ups? Because when I got my certifications, I would be like ace. It was supposed to be the easiest test. No, it was timed, and timed tests freak me out.
How many do you have to do?
Oh, it probably has like 100 questions, and it'll trick you too. Like this person came in, they had a hurt foot. Are you gonna do this with them or that with them? And you'll be like, A's right. A could be, it could be B, and then I overthink it is what it is. So when I'm taking a time test, I figured out if I get on the floor, the test room I took the ACE test in there was this tiny little cubicle, and I was on that little marble floor, dirty, doing push-ups. And as soon as I did 10 push-ups, it's like, oh, blood flow.
Huh.
Yeah, for
That's a real
real.
thing?
Huh?
So does it just like help you
It
think?
does. I guess, your serotonin and everything your hormones run your body. So like if you're in women and men, we all need testosterone and we all need estrogen. But you have all those others like serotonin and cortisol and all those leptin. Those control how you feel. And sadly, if we lay around, we're not getting into the good stuff. And I'm the first person to tell you, I love staying in bed.
Ooh,
I
hoodie season.
love staying in bed.
So warm. Just kind of miss my bed. I didn't want to get up this morning. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I know it. That's why I said too, don't think about what you're doing tomorrow, because that'll give you anxiety, right? Think about what you're doing today, because you got to take action. Like if you didn't make an appointment, you probably wouldn't do it, right? Like that's why, another thing I like to do is set timers, even though I said I hate timer. But if you go, all right, I got to do this, I'm going to set a 30-minute timer. Alexa, 30 minutes. And then I'll lay there for at least 10 more. And then I'm like under pressure.
that's something
Jump
that helped
up.
me. That's something that helped me. Like if I do an episode, I know I have to edit. Even if I don't have
Yeah.
to edit the whole thing, I'll be like, okay, I'll set like a 15-minute timer, and I'll work
Uh-huh.
on it for that 15 minutes. And then
Yeah.
once the timer goes off, I'm like, okay, I'm already here. I'll just finish.
That's it. Yeah. And same thing with weight loss, right? You just get started.
Like I'm already here. I already
Yep.
started. So,
Same thing with getting a business. Just get started. You don't have to think about
huh?
the outcome.
It's so easy to think of, but I feel like applying it is just so like nerve wracking.
I know it really is. I know. But and then also like don't get caught in the past. I hear that a lot. People like, "Oh, I used to be so small. I used to be so fit." And that's just going to drag you down. That's just
You're not anymore. So let's
yeah, yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, who are you today? Let's make a difference today,
Okay. And
But
then
yeah.
my actual last question. So,
Love that.
is there something that maybe from this episode or from your life that you feel like you're missing?
That I'm missing. Interesting. Well, when I was growing up, I thought I wanted to be a motivational speaker. Which when talking to thousands of people. I've done it before when I worked for Expedia, and it freaked me out. But I thought I wanted to be a motivational speaker because I had a motivational speaker that came to our company when I was in probably early, like before I was 20. And she was so good. Oh my God. She had this thing where she would come up in traffic if somebody's mad at you. I mean, I'm sorry, but everyone I know, they get mad in traffic. Like, so she had this little kit and she had tiger ears. She had a magical wand and you would not see it coming out. This lady was just very basic, but she had them. And at the traffic light, she would put her tiger ears on. Like if that person was getting mad at her and all that, she'd get to the stoplight. She'd just sit there with her tiger ears on. And then she's to her teenagers, she'd take when they, oh, Mom, I want this or whatever, she'd take her magic wand off of the refrigerator and goes, you're invisible. I was like, dang, that's awesome. So yeah, so I had a motivational speaker that really motivated me. That's funny, right? Dang. Mom, can I borrow the car?
You're not there.
You're gone. Yeah, so it was really entertaining, and I wanted to be a motivational speaker. And so just like my brother and I had lost, weight together and watching his confidence and all that, I was like, I want my brother and I to be motivational speakers together. That would be the one thing that I think that was such a big dream for me. But I mean, even with what he does today, he motivates everybody. And I'm a motivational, person, not speaker, but that would be the one thing I wish. And I want to say something else. Everybody thinks that action requires confidence, right? Like you need to have confidence to get into action, but truly action is where you get confidence.
So you have to act before you get the confidence?
Yeah, that's big.
Okay.
Just think about that one.
I like that. That's a great thing to leave it off on too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure having you on today. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Yes, absolutely. And if you ever need somebody to say, Blake, get off your butt, text me.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll do that indeed.
I'll say do 10 push-ups. So I'm just kidding.
I can knock them out. I'll hit 50 right now. Let me not. I don't want to set myself up for failure.
Yeah.
Actually.
That's cool. Hey, you know what? Do a push-up challenge.
Right now? At the end? Okay. What kind?
I say right now we're just going to do 10. But tomorrow you're going to do 11.
Okay.
And the next day you're going to do 12.
And y'all keep in mind, this is a lesson. Just one more thing each and every day. And then they end up stacking. But let's get that 10 though. Let's get that 10.
Do it.
Okay.
All right. I'm probably not going to be on the camera, but we got it. All right. Ready?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and take your feet apart a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Set. Go. Chest low.
7, 8,
9, and 10.
All righty.
All right. Stretch your back. Now watch what happens to your mind. Like you feel energized. Feel better. And then so you could set up your phone and your camera and tomorrow do 11. And once you get on a streak, you can't stop.
My goal is 100 a day.
Oh, so maybe you should start. How many would you do right now? If like you were.
I could do probably like 40 more, 30 more.
Okay.
Maybe.
So then let's put yours at 50 a day. So now you did 10, because it's all cumulative. Later you gotta do 40 before the night is over. And then
let me
from
do
there,
10 more. Let me do like 20.
Yeah, do it, Blake. See, this is what I'm talking about. I live for this. How great is this? Look at your push-ups, look great.
I got a military dad, so it's like,
oh, that's awesome.
I used to get punished like this. It's crazy.
Wow, this is greatness. No kidding. He's still going.
15. Okay, anyways. I love y'all.
Awesome.
I'll see y'all later.
That was fun.
And bye-bye.